Let's start with it. So, as we all know, invasive alien species are a hot topic today because they, as well as other species, are affected by climate changes. Changes in precipitation and temperature, nutrient availability, and soil disturbance may enhance the susceptibility of habitats to invasion by non-native plant species. These global environmental changes also complicate governments and managers' continuous battle to detect and control invasive species. One way to control and manage invasive species is to use them. And this is the approach to the problem of invasive species from a different perspective that I want to present you today. So my today's lecture will be entitled Alien Invasive Plants as Food and Phytopharmaceuticals. Just to check, do you see my second slide? Or am I still on the first one? Because sometimes I have this problem. Do you see my second slide?
Only first one only yes.
Okay, that is the problem, as always.
It's not as a presentation. We see all the slides and the big one. You have to present it.
Just the title. You can see the title?
Only, yeah.
Only title. Okay, then I will shift to the non-presenting mode. Do you see now my second one?
No, not yet.
And now?
Yeah.
Okay, I will try to do it this way. Is it okay? Okay, my lecture will be divided into 4 parts. In the first part, I will deal with the general concepts related to invasive species, and it will cover some negative but also some positive aspects of invasive alien plant species. Then I will present you our ongoing project called Danijela that is currently going and is dedicated to the topic. After that, I will present you a short overview of its preliminary results, and then I will finish with a few points related to invasive alien plant species covered by this project for food purposes. Let's start with the general information about the invasive alien species. An invasive alien species is any species that is not native to that ecosystem and is capable of propagating itself, whose introduction causes or is likely to cause harm the environment, economy, or human health. We all know that invasive species are a global threat to biodiversity. They displace native species, affect ecosystem processes and functioning, and cause substantial economic losses. Preventing their introduction and spread is the most cost-efficient strategy to achieve IS-free ecosystems. However, given the current rate of this species invasion, management based mainly on eradication is neither completely effective nor economically viable. So here we will introduce the additional variable into the equation, the use of invasive species. Ecological damages caused by them is significant, but they also have some positive sides, and their positive influence on human activities and sites is also relevant. They can have enormous social, economic, landscape, and ecological importance and provide us a number of ecosystem services. But before I go to explain ecosystem services, I would like to look at a few myths about non-native invasive species. The most widely spread one is that invasive species intend to dominate ecosystems and exclude others more than native species do. The truth is that only a minority of species introduced to a habitat will spread on their own, so naturalize. And only a small percentage of those will spread enough to be called invasive. All species rely on certain conditions for survival. Therefore, it's not simply the origin of the species that determines invasiveness, but the interaction between a species traits and the community of which it is a part. The second myth implies that all native species are good and useful and all from outside are invasive. That is not true for several reasons. First, many local species could and would become invasive when introduced to another habitat. On the other hand, invasiveness is linked to the role of human activity in spreading species and changing the environment. Any species distribution relies on certain conditions for survival which must be met. Many species that we nowadays consider local have been relocated from around the world, both accidentally and intentionally. A few hundred years ago, for example, European explorers brought turkeys, potatoes, corn, tobacco, and tomatoes from America to Europe. In turn, species such as horses, cows, sheep, goats, pigs, wheat, soy, and grapes were transferred from Europe and the Middle East to America. Plants used in horticulture for ornamental purposes also play a major role in the global spread of species. From these examples, we can see that non-native species shouldn't always be targeted as something bad and unwanted. Another myth considers ecosystems to be static organization. There is also a false idea that ecosystems were previously rich in diversity and the introduction of an alien species is responsible for any such losses. Ecosystems are dynamic and are subject to many human and natural disturbances, including fires, climatic changes, flooding, tropical cyclones, constructions, tree logging, mining, and pollution. And ecosystems change as ecosystems change, older inhabitants may die, thus creating a new niche for new organisms to move in. Successions, both primary and secondary, are natural changes in ecological communities which have happened in the past and which will continue to occur in the present and future. However, currently these changes may be occurring faster due to disturbances, and we can expect an increased dynamism in natural processes. In this scenario, the key word is balance. So, since today it's very difficult to avoid introduction and spread of alien species, we are faced with the challenging task of achieving and maintaining balance in the so-called new ecosystems. So there are many systems trying to list ecosystem services and global ecology and categorize biological services to humans. One of the most used is the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment from 2005, which its objective is to assess the consequences of ecosystem change for human well-being and create a scientific basis for environmental conservation and sustainable use of those systems. According to this system, ecosystem services are divided into 4 categories: provisioning, regulating, cultural, and supporting. Invasive species can provide one or several of these services and make themselves beneficial to the ecosystem. Hello.
Danijela, your slides are not moving. It is stuck up in second only.
Are you
using the slideshow also? Yeah. Slides.
So I'm now at the first slide.
Yeah,
now
this is your
I'm on second.
Yes,
can you I will approve you to control. Maybe it's better.
Okay. Let me tell to them.
Okay, now. Okay. Let's go to slide number 8. Okay. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening.
Now?
No.
I'm changing slides.
No.
Nothing is happening. Okay. Let's try to do something.
Maybe that Magnus group organizers may do for you this favor, okay?
Just a moment, give me one moment. I can try something.
Yeah, well, meantime, you can try.
Okay. Can you see now
Nothing.
the changes?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay, do you see the changes
Common
now?
myth about non-native. Yeah.
Okay, ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
Do you see a balance here?
Okay, you have already said it.
Okay, you can see now the balance
Yeah.
with ecosystems plus and minuses.
Right, yeah. Yes, now you
Okay,
can move
we are
forward.
now starting points. Okay, okay. So let's continue. So I was speaking about the balance that between positives and negatives provided by invasive alien species. And now I will here speak about some new solutions that we offer in our project that I will speak about a few slides later. Here we offered these new solutions in invasive species management and give an insight into potential use of invasive plants as new ecosystem providers. So positive aspects of some invasive alien plant species is their possible use as source of pharmaceutically active compounds and also their availability in large quantities. And these were the starting points when we applied and started our new project called Nature Ally that I will present you in the next few slides. The project entitled Nature as an Ally, Alien Invasive Plants and Phytopharmaceuticals is a project funded by the Croatian Science Foundation, which started in January 2021 and will finish in 2025. Its acronym is Nature Ally. The general aim of this project is to explore the potential of natural extracts of invasive alien plant species in the Istrian region in Croatia for the application as phytopharmaceuticals and as a basis for new possible ecosystem services provided by invasive plants. The species that we investigated in our project are black locust, Jerusalem artichoke, Canada goldenrod, and tree of heaven. Our specific objective are to perform detailed chemical profiling of our extracts by liquid chromatography mass spectrometry, then to determine antioxidative, antimicrobial, antiproliferative, cytotoxic and genotoxic properties of our extracts. To isolate specific extract fractions and compare their biological properties to the biological properties of the whole extracts of our plants, to estimate their potential for the application in phytopharmacy, and at the end to propose the model for exploring new provisioning medicinal ecosystem services in our pilot territory in order to attenuate the negative effects of invasive plants on new environments. Of course, we want to disseminate our results and to publish them in scientific and professional and public papers. Please, I would like to show you also with this presentation not only our results, but also some of our illustrations which are made in purpose, so especially for our project and related to our plant species and aliens. Here you can see the project team. The project team is consisted of scientists from 8 academic institutions from Slovenia, Croatia, and South African Republic. And here you can see a few of our experts involved in the project. And here is the short project overview. If you want to show the complex 4-year project on one slide, it would look something like this. We basically have 3 parts of our project, and we are now somewhere between this pink one and the purple one. So in the first, this light blue phase, we had the plant collection and the samples preparation, which we made last year. We purchased equipment and collected the data for our database for ecological assessment. We also performed a preliminary HPLC profiling of phenolics in different types of extracts and made fractionation. And now we are in the step 3. So we are performing LCMS phenolic, precise phenolic identification and quantification. In the next period, we will perform the other analysis related to the antioxidant capacity, other antimicrobial, antibacterial activity, cytotoxicity, genotoxicity, etc. in different organizations, partners in our project. And here I will briefly present our preliminary results. We choose the area, sampling area. We selected our pilot area, Eastern Peninsula, which is located in Croatia, in Central Europe, at the northwest of Adriatic coast. So we carefully chose the locations throughout the whole Eastern territory in order to get a representative sample. We developed the field protocol tool in order to standardize the description of the sampling sites, and also prepared samples by air drying and then fine grinding followed by pooling. And here you can see the preliminary results of high-performance liquid chromatography with reverse phases profiling of our extract that indicate the phytochemical diversity of analyzed species. The most common detected compounds were vitamin C, detected in all analyzed species with the highest concentration in black locusts. Then we detected phenolic acids such as gallic, benzoic, chlorogenic, vanillic, caffeic, coumaric, synapic, and ferulic acid. With the most represented chlorogenic acids in Jerusalem artichoke, and finally flavonoids with camphorol, which stands out with a high concentration among detected flavonoids, especially in Canada golden rod. We also, the whole extract was divided into 3 fractions according to retention times of individual metabolites, and the most represented metabolites in each fractions are shown in the lower table. The highest total phenolic and total non-flavonoid content were recorded in the extract of Ailanthus altissima and presented in figures 1 and 2. And the highest total flavonoids values were observed in the extract of Helianthus tuberosus and presented in the figure 3. Antioxidant capacity was determined in 90% methanol dry leaf extracts by 3 standard assays, and we recorded the highest antioxidant capacity in the extracts of G of Heaven or Ailanthus altissima, which is in accordance with our previous results that revealed the high antioxidant capacity of this plant, a companion with antibacterial and antimicrobial activity equivalent to standard antibiotics. Since the biosynthesis of phenolics in plants depends on numerous environmental factors, phenolic profiles of populations from different geographical areas significantly differ. So this was our intent to, and according to our knowledge, it is the first phenolic profiling of these species in our region, in our study area. And here are listed some of current analyses that we are performing now at the moment. So we are preparing some analysis for of different dry leaf and flower extracts as well by spectrophotometric methods, and also we are performing the LCMS profiling and chemical characterization of ethanol extracts, leaf extract, and fraction at the moment. environment. And we are also in preparation of some antibacterial and antifungal properties testing, which of dry leaf and flower extracts by various tests which are performed now in South African Republic, our partner. As we already said, invasive alien plant species can be serious environmental threats, but they also can provide some benefits. In our project, we will perform comprehensive ecological assessment of both positive and negative effects of our investigated species. For this purpose, we create a questionnaire that will comprise both risk assessment and service assessment questions. So we will cooperate with our experts in the field that knows our species and our territory very well, and they will fill our questionnaire, and at the end we hope that we will have a comprehensive database with all the necessary data for the risk assessment and service assessment, and that we will have some new information related to this topic. In our project, we consider dissemination of results and science communication to be an extremely important part, so you can follow all our activities on our webpage and by social networks. And at the end, I will speak a little bit about some food potential of our species. So although we are in our project not focused primarily on the food, we are focused mostly on the phytopharmaceutical aspects of our investigated species, we cannot ignore their nutritional potential as well. 2 of 4 of our invasive species are edible, and both of them studied in our project. Black locust and Jerusalem artichoke are native to North America, and here in our region are invasive, and were introduced in our region for use in horticulture, forestry, beekeeping, and for nutrition. Both species are rich source of antioxidants, as we already saw in some of past slides. The Jerusalem artichoke is grown primarily for its edible tubers, rich in dietary fiber and prebiotics such as inulin, as well as in protein contents, including essential amino acids. Acacia flower, for example, in addition to being honey bearing, is used for a number of other purposes. Research on the chemical composition of pseudoacacia flowers has proven that they are rich in proteins and trace elements that can be used as natural additives. We have not taken the nutritional aspects of these species seriously yet in our project, but it is one of the aspects that we want to address more in the future in this and probably in some new projects that we will apply for. So there are numerous studies that support the use of invasive species as a food, and I would like to finish this presentation with a few recipes that we use in our region, but that is also used in other parts of the world. Moreover, this knowledge about these nutritional benefits is already known and already exists in the culinary tradition of many nations. So here you can see a few recipes that in my opinion are interesting. For example, black locust fried flowers. Then we have black locust syrup that is very tasteful according to my experience. Then we also use Jerusalem artichoke in the pickled in this form, and also as an artichoke soup. With this, I would like to finish my presentation, and for the very end, I will finish with a few conclusions. All species have some useful potential in ecosystem, and many of them have easily defined services. Our obtained results indicate the abundance of bioactive compounds in investigated invasive species and suggest their potential as a source of phytopharmaceuticals and natural oxidants in the food industry. And we also hope that our project will contribute to the raising awareness of importance of balanced invasive species management. I will finish with this slide where you can see a few basic information about us, about our project, our contacts, and we will be glad to have a cooperation and contact with you. Thank you for your attention.